Only on Sunrise, NBC5 News has teamed up with Asante to bring you better health.
This morning, we're taking a look at some of the best guidelines when it comes to your blood pressure. We are back for better health this week, and I have health expert Beth Coker with Asante. And Dr. Gross, you are a cardiologist, which is perfect because today we are talking about blood pressure.
And in 2017, Dr. Gross, the American Heart Association lowered the definition of high blood pressure, putting over half of the Americans in that definition of high blood pressure. What are these new guidelines?
Well, the new guidelines are rather aggressive, you might say. We are now, normal is considered 120 over 80, and then elevated is considered 130 over 80. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have treatment. It just means maybe start working on those aspects non-invasively, lifestyle changes. And then when you get to 130 over 90 to 139 over 90, you're in stage 1, and 140 over 90, you're in stage 2. And those people, especially the stage 1, they may require more aggressive treatment than just lifestyle changes. If you have a risk for having a heart attack, or have had a previous bypass or a stent, or have diabetes or kidney disease. And the reason why these guidelines have come about is that the latest review, every couple of years, they do a major review of all the literature. They had 21 separate physicians and statisticians and nurses and endocrinologists get together. They reviewed 900 different articles, and they said there is benefit as we get older to lowering your blood pressure, less strokes, less heart attacks.
So someone with high blood pressure, can they feel that? Are there warning signs?
The problem is most people with hypertension can't feel it. It's made it a difficult disease to treat. Why do I have to take these medications? I don't feel badly, and maybe the medicines give me a rash or an upset stomach, and they cost me money. The reality is the drugs work. We have hundreds of different combinations of drugs. We can find a combination of drugs that you will tolerate, and by lowering your blood pressure, you unequivocally lower your risk of heart attack and stroke, which is, in the long run, what you want to do.
So are there things, if I have high blood pressure, I'm just starting to inch up, are there things I can do lifestyle-wise to change that?
Absolutely, and that's where you should start. The first things you do is you take a look, if you're overweight, you ought to really make that a major goal in your life, not just for your heart, for your hips, your back, your body image. Try to lose weight. Easy to say, hard to do, but it can be done. There are other things. People have sleep apnea. People with sleep apnea have more blood pressure issues. People who take non-steroidals like the ibuprofen and naproxen, those drugs will raise your blood pressure if you're taking a lot of it. Alcohol. Moderate to excessive alcohol consumption will raise your blood pressure. Hormonal extracts, they will do it. Street drugs, recreational drugs can all raise it. So there's a number of things that you can do. Lack of exercise, very important. Get out. Get out of the stressful environment. You're in a high-pressure situation. Take some time for yourself. Get a respite on a daily basis and a weekend. All of those things clearly work.
These are great tips, and see your doctor to see where you fall in these new guidelines.
And make sure that the blood pressure is truly elevated, because there's a white coat phenomenon. You come in, you're a little anxious, it's a little high. These new guidelines wanted to make sure that before we embark on any rigorous strategy, especially with medicines, that the blood pressure is truly elevated. And so there's a greater emphasis on using home devices that are correlated with the office device. Just because the number says it's favorable doesn't mean it is. The only thing worse than no information is wrong information. Get the true information, make sure it correlates, get a bunch of blood pressures, and then see, do you really need to embark on a more aggressive strategy?
Perfect advice. Thank you so much.
Thank you both for being here. We'll be right back.